G'day everyone, it's Al from OFFCAMBER4X4. Welcome to the first episode of the new Nissan Patrol build. So to give you some insights into the build, 9 months ago we sold our GU TD42 wagon in favour of a bone stock vehicle. We decided to start fresh with the intention of a ground up restoration. We formed a collaboration with Bud from Bud's Customs just in regards to the ideas about where we wanted to go with the vehicle. Some of the things on the shopping list included things like dual cab conversion, chassis extension and portal axles. But today's video is really about the actual cab itself, how we got the vehicle to where it is now, and what the next steps are planned for it. So as I was saying, one of the first things that we actually did in terms of this build was remove the cab from the chassis itself. We gutted most of the interior, with a little bit still to go, with the intention of performing the dual cab conversion. In this case, you can see from what we've welded on the back here is a factory rear ute wall. That was part of one of the things we wanted to do, just giving it a bit of a cleaner look, giving a bit more strength in the rear wall, and just kind of retaining a normal factory looking vehicle. When we performed the chop itself, we actually added about 100 mil into the back section of the floor pan. We did this for a couple reasons. One, this allowed us to utilise the factory floor pan seating pickups, so that way it's going to be a big 4-seater with a fridge freezer in the middle. And two, the other thing was just to provide a bit more leg room for those people touring in the back. Here's a better look at the floor pan itself. With the integration of the wagon and factory rear ute wall, we were able to utilise a lot of those factory pickup points for the seats. As you can see from the build here, we added in the floor pan stretch, and we also made provision for a fridge freezer to be the centre console in the back. And I honestly think that once this is all painted up, it's going to definitely retain a lot of the factory looks of the GU utes, but definitely provide some uniqueness with regards to, one, how it feels when you're sitting inside, and two, just definitely a lot more spacious. So just to recap again, it's about 100 to 110 mil extra in terms of leg room in the back. In line with the cab stretch and grafting, Jai, the in-house fabricator here at Bud's Customs, spent quite a few hours making the two transition together really well. There's still a few more hours to go on the cab all up, but in terms of fit and finish, we're definitely getting closer with regards to the overall look and outcome that we were after. So with the cab now stitched together, we were faced with two challenges. One was to fabricate a door that would fill the void we created, and two was what were we going to do with the skin. When I say skin, the outside fold of the door. So the way we went about accomplishing this, and if I talk firstly about the door itself, we cut a factory wagon door off at about 650 mil, and then for the shortfall we utilised the back end of a ute door, and it was about 380 mil roughly that we required from that, and we grafted the two together. We're at the stage now where we're putting the internal structures inside the door itself, just to make it structurally sound and able to be engineered. And once that's complete, we'll actually remove this skin from the door itself, and I'll take you through the actual new skins that we had fabricated at Retro Rods. So as mentioned, we wanted to retain a factory look to the vehicle, hence the rear wall. And the other big thing that we needed to accomplish for the door itself was to make a new door skin. I wanted to go this route, one, so if I ever have an accident or a tree or something bumps into the door, I'm able to see the fabricator who I got to do this, and they've got the templates and they can remake me another one and there wouldn't be an issue. And the other reason, the main reason really, is to really keep all these factory folds that we have, or that you can see in the GUs. And I think we've really accomplished that. So in terms of the skin itself, it was made by Mick at Retro Rods on the Sunshine Coast. I really want to say big thanks to him and his wife. They turned this around for me in about 4 or 5 weeks. We just provided them with the door frame itself. We gave them 2 sides. They went to town on that, and were able to produce the goods. And like I say, if you need anything custom, it doesn't matter if it's four-wheel driving or hot rodding or anything like that, please reach out to the guys there. They're really friendly. They're easy to get along with in terms of understanding what you want. As I said, yeah, very quick turnaround time for me. I hope this gives you a bit of insight into the build thus far. Before I go on, I just want to say a massive thanks to Bud. This build wouldn't be possible without him. So big thanks to Bud at Bud's Customs, and definitely Mick at Retro Rods. Thank you very much for the door skin. Right now, in terms of where we're at, there's probably another week's worth of work in terms of fabrication, welding that needs to be completed, so that way we can put the door skins on. Once we've done there, we'll completely strip down the dash out of the vehicle. We'll send it to Media Blaster and get this thing in primer, in which case then you'll see another video from us. But right now I'll take the time to answer a few questions that some people have shot through, so that way I give you a little bit more details on particulars. So in wrap up to today's build video, we just want to go through a few shortlisted questions. We've got a lot of interest on social media about the build itself. I think this would be a good opportunity to address some of the questions that we're getting that are fairly similar. Anusha's behind the camera, so she'll be yelling them out, and I'll answer them as best as I can.
Question 1. Are the windows going to be electric like factory, and what's the go for the door cards / the interior?
So in terms of the windows themselves, all the window, the framing and everything like that, including the electrics, will all be factory. Where we're going to make a custom piece will be the infill panel. Essentially we stretch the door, so that stretched area will just have a piece of acrylic window in there. And as for the actual inner door skin itself, we're just going to actually use a piece of folded aluminium. We'll use these door cards in the front and rear so it's consistent with the whole build, and then that way that everything ties in together.
Next question. Excellent work, but what's the actual reason for it? Is it just to have a large rear legroom? Is it visual balance? Anything else? Yep, so it's all those things really. When we initially started the chop, we played with where the rear wall was going to sit. If we put it where the factory rear door ends, it just kind of looked a little bit bunched up. And then to the second part of that question, when you physically sit in the car yourself, you do appreciate the extra legroom, so that's why we went down that route. And a really common question was the worry about damaging one of the doors, and I know you touched on it earlier, but we'll just go over it again. Yep, so definitely that was a concern. One of the main factors when I was talking it over with Mick from Retro Rods, the guy that built the skin, he suggested to me to take a template, and that's just in case I ding it too badly that it can't be rectified on the car. We can always roll out a new skin and replace the door itself. The other benefit to it, and which we probably haven't touched on, is say for example someone wanted to recreate this, I've got the ability to assist them in obviously fabricating those doors and definitely helping them out with the skins. Thanks for watching. This concludes our first build episode video of the GU Patrol. If you enjoyed what you saw, please be sure to like, follow and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. And if you do have any more questions about the build or want a bit more details, shoot us a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And the next time you see this thing, it will definitely be in primer, and we'll go over the next stage of the build. Thanks for watching.